Welcome back to my channel. My name's Gabrielle and I'm a love and relationship coach. So today I'm going to be painting for you a really clear picture on what healthy texting should look like when you first start dating someone. So the way I'm going to paint this healthy picture of what your messaging should look like when you first start dating someone, I'm going to take you through 6 red flags that you need to look out for. And these red flags could indicate that you're being love bombed, the person that you're messaging is toxic, or they're an avoidant. They've got an avoidant attachment style, and it is very likely they're going to be keeping you at arm's length for the duration of the relationship. And let me tell you from personal experience, that is very, very painful, and you do not want that. How someone chooses to communicate with you in these very early days is so revealing when it comes to if they are an emotionally available partner. So if you're someone who doesn't fully trust themselves to make good decisions in their love life, observing how someone communicates with you over message, this presents a great opportunity for you to observe their behaviour and figure out what type of person they are before you fully invest in them. Because let me tell you, the toxic guys, the avoidant guys who are going to keep you at a distance, they reveal themselves so early on. There's no need to fear that you're going to fall into the trap again. Always remember the signs, the red flags, they are there so early on. For me personally, when I'm dating someone, when it comes to messaging, I want someone who's responsive, who's not flaky, not wishy-washy and vague with their intentions. They're not always too busy to message me back. They're engaged in the conversation, they're asking questions, and there's no game playing. It's free-flowing, you're not having to overthink it, and it's not intense. There's a feeling of calm and peace when it comes to the messaging. One really important thing to remember here, one of these red flags in isolation might not be anything to worry about, but it depends on which red flag we're talking about. And I'll explain more about that as I take you through the 6 red flags. So red flag number 1, the frequency of the text. Within those first few days or weeks, we don't want to be seeing an avalanche of texts. So this is a lot of text coming through all day. It feels intense and it feels like you're being bombarded. And the vibe here, the feeling is that it's going from 0 to 100. You've only just met this person and all of a sudden they're messaging you up teen times a day and you feel like you've not got space to breathe. Why is this potentially a red flag? Because when someone bombards you with these messages, they're not giving you time to breathe. They're not giving you a chance to breathe and reflect on how you truly feel about this person. This is a form of love bombing. That bombardment of messages, it's like an attack on the nervous system and we can feel overwhelmed. But in doing so, when we're in an overwhelmed, heightened state, this distracts us from logic and it distracts us from our intuition. And in this state of being distracted and being hooked on these feelings of intensity, we will abandon our inner wisdom and our inner guidance that tells us something doesn't feel just quite right here. I've just met this person and this feels a bit OTT. My question would be here, what are they trying to distract me from? Whether it's they're trying to distract me from my own inner wisdom and my intuition, it's almost like unconsciously they know that they're going to end up messing you around. They know deep down that they're not a good partner, but they think if they bombard you with all these messages, you're not going to notice that. You're not going to figure out that there's something not quite right with them. So I posted about this on my social media about how a high load of messages is love bombing and it can be a red flag. And someone commented on the post and they disagreed with that. So what I would say when it comes to the frequency of messages, For this particular red flag, take note of it and keep it in your back pocket. If this red flag shows up with another red flag, this is something that you seriously need to consider whether you want to continue dating that person. But this by itself, someone messaging you often, there is the chance that maybe they're just really excited to have met you. They're really into you, they're really keen, they want to appear really engaged and hold your interest. But what I would say, tune into your intuition. If it feels overly intense and off, that's because something's wrong. Your intuition, listen to your intuition, it's trying to tell you something. The second red flag is when someone always says they're too busy to message back. So what does this look like? This looks like someone making constant excuses. I was just so busy with work, I'm just so busy in life. They're unresponsive, they're flaky, and it looks like you constantly checking your phone for a reply. But also it triggers you to start getting caught up in your head, feeling confused, trying to analyze the situation and figure out what could they be so busy with? How are they so busy that they can't take 2 minutes to message me back? So why is this a red flag? Because if someone is that busy that they can't take 2 minutes to message you back, how on earth are they going to make time to actually meet up with you in real life and go on a date? Not only that, if someone is genuinely that busy in their job that they can't even respond to a couple of texts in the day, is this someone that you want to enter into a relationship with? Ask yourself, will this person be able to meet your basic needs? If your love language is quality time spent together, this situation is a red flag for you, and you need to seriously consider how your future is going to look together and what is really important to you in a relationship. If you feel like you want to be really close to your partner and you've got a tendency to get triggered in relationships when you feel someone pulling away, and you've got a tendency to overthink things, you are most likely an anxious attachment style. And as an anxiously attached person, there's a high probability you are going to attract in an avoidantly attached person. Now, this is a common trap that people fall into. And this red flag, with someone being too busy to message you back, this can be a clear sign that someone has an avoidant attachment style. When you're anxiously attached, you want to be going for a securely attached person. You do not want to be going for an avoidant who wants to keep you at arm's length. Believe me, I did it multiple times and it is so painful. I myself, I'm inclined to be anxiously attached. I'm now with a secure partner and his secureness has made me more secure, and I've moved predominantly now into a secure attachment. God forbid we ever split up, I would never ever date an avoidant person again, because I know that I've got anxious tendencies and I know that dynamic for me, it doesn't work. It's really frustrating. I feel really rejected and it's just so painful. The third red flag, someone making really grand OTT statements about you straight away. So what does this look and feel like? It looks like them bombarding you with messages like, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. And this is within the first few days or weeks of meeting them. You're the prettiest girl I've ever met. You're so amazing. You're so incredible. Maybe they even say that they love you very early on within the first few weeks. The feeling here that you will get, again, it's a bit of an overwhelmed feeling and it just feels like things are moving really fast and something just feels a little bit off. It's going from 0 to 100. So why is this a red flag? If you've literally only known someone for a few weeks and they're saying stuff like, you're the most amazing person I've ever met, I think that I love you, you're the prettiest woman I've ever met, that is love bombing. Someone who's messaging you frequently And then not only that, they're saying grand statements like, you're the prettiest girl they've ever met, you're absolutely amazing. And bear in mind, you've only known them a few weeks. They are trying to distract you from your intuition, and they're trying to distract you from the fact that they cannot meet your basic needs. Their aim is to get you hooked on them fast. Also, for me personally, if I've only known someone for a few weeks and they're saying grand statements like this, that I'm the most amazing woman they've ever met, they don't truly know me. In fact, I would say it takes about 6 months to get to truly know someone. So the fact someone's saying to me, I'm the most amazing woman they've ever met, and they've only known me 2 weeks, that is ringing major alarm bells for me. And this is in terms of the stability of that person and the emotional maturity of that person. That's what I'd be questioning here. It's not a rational, mature way to think. And if you know anything about building a healthy relationship, you will know that it takes a long time to truly get to know someone. So it is not possible to be saying grand statements like that within a few weeks. So the fourth red flag is game playing. So what does this look and feel like? Again, it looks like inconsistency. It feels like them holding you at arm's length. It looks like they've not messaged me back for 1 day, so I'm going to wait 1 day until I message them back. You start overthinking a simple thing like messaging someone. When the dynamic is healthy, you do not fall into that thinking. And this overthinking will have you taking action, like checking when they were last online. Maybe they're messaging you on WhatsApp and they've not replied. So then you're going on to Instagram and seeing when they were last online on Instagram. This is not the energy and dynamic that you want to have at the start of a relationship. So why is this a red flag? Because if you go along with this, say that person hasn't messaged you for 2 days, and then you think, okay, I'm not going to message them back for 2 days. You are now putting up a pretense. You're abandoning what you truly want, what you truly need in a relationship. Because really, you want someone who's keen, who's engaged, who's responsive, who's messaging you back nearly straight away. But what you're falling into now is playing the cool girl. You're abandoning what you actually need and pretending to be so relaxed, so laid back, so that you don't rock the boat with them and they don't end the relationship with you. But by doing this, you're not being your true, authentic self. You're putting up a pretense, and this pretense will not last. And the only guy that you are going to attract and keep by pretending to be this cool girl and so unbothered about when he next texts you back and when he next asks for you to go on a date, the only guy you're going to attract is an avoidant guy who's going to hold you at a distance, and he's going to be very happy with how you're presenting. But you've got to ask yourself, is that what you truly want? Do you not want to be with someone, a secure guy who messages you back, where you don't have to overthink the messaging, such a simple thing. You don't have to overthink that. You don't have to waste your precious energy on playing games with someone and waiting days for them to message you back, and then you waiting days to message them back. So the fifth red flag is silent treatment. So how does this look and how does it feel? So it looks like you voicing your needs, you expressing something that you're not quite happy with and setting a boundary, and all of a sudden they go completely silent on you. Maybe it's for hours, maybe it's for a couple of days, maybe it's for a week. This is a form of emotional manipulation. What they are saying here, through saying nothing, through not responding to you, is that I don't like what you've just said. I don't like it when you express your needs and when you try and set boundaries. If you do this again, I'm going to punish you in this way. I'm not going to respond to you because I know that you desperately want a response from me and you crave that. So if you bring anything like this up again, this is what you're going to get. So what does this feel like? It feels like rejection. It feels like abandonment. It feels like punishment. It feels like confusion, anxiety, and sadness and torment. So why is this a red flag? Because they do not take any responsibility for how their actions impact your well-being. They don't see you as a team, and they are devoid of the basic communication skills that are needed to sustain a healthy and long-lasting relationship. Instead of choosing to communicate with you, they revert to manipulation tactics, and that is a huge red flag. This red flag alone is reason enough to cut it off with someone straight away. Because believe me, if someone is capable of this, if they're willing to manipulate you, silence you, and they've not got those basic communication skills, do not wait around for someone like that to miraculously change, because honestly, it's never going to happen, or it is not going to happen anytime soon. So the final red flag number 6, is someone who is vague, wishy-washy in their tone and intentions when they're messaging you. So what does this look and feel like? It looks like you asking a direct question, but they either don't respond, or the response just doesn't even answer your question at all. It looks like them just saying enough to keep you there. And it looks like you needing a forensic language degree to psychoanalyze these messages, to try and figure out what this person actually means. It feels confusing. It doesn't make you feel secure in the relationship. It leaves you feeling dysregulated, and it leaves you feeling scared to bring the question up again or any other questions, because you don't want to rock the boat, because you can tell that they're avoiding answering your question directly. Why is it a red flag? Because the truth is, if someone is open to finding a relationship, if someone is truly interested in you, there will be no ifs or buts about it. If that person is secure, they feel comfortable with intimacy and closeness, they want a relationship, they're really into you, they will tell you directly. They will have no qualms about telling you that. It is only the people who want to hold you at a distance, who feel overwhelmed by closeness and intimacy, who value their independence more and see your need for closeness as a weakness. It is only those people who will be wishy-washy and vague and sending you mixed signals. So when someone is direct, what does it look like? It looks like them getting back to you straight away and saying, "Can't wait to see you again. I'm free next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening. What would you like to do? Should we go to the cinema? Should we go bowling? Should we go on a walk?" Can you see here in this language? They're straight, they're direct to the point, they're letting you know exactly when they're available. There's no mystery around it. Or maybe you ask someone, "What are you looking for?" And they'll just straight up say, "I'm looking for a serious relationship. And this is what I value, this is what is important to me within a person." And they know exactly what they want, and they can articulate that to you. So that's all the red flags that you need to look out for. I hope you can see now how revealing someone's messaging behaviour can be with regards to if they are emotionally available for love and if they are ready for a close and committed relationship. Like I said, remember, depending on which red flag it is, one red flag in isolation, keep it in your back pocket, remain calm, observe their behaviour over a period of time. But if the red flag is them giving you silent treatment or game playing, cut it off immediately. My biggest piece of advice when you're dating is to take it slow. There is no rush. Do not get derailed by the intense feelings of lust, because this will disconnect you to that inner wisdom and intuition, and it will only lead, in my personal circumstances, it will only lead to heartbreak. Move into the role of the observer, the calm, centered, grounded observer who knows exactly what they want from a man and will not settle until they find it. There's no rush, there's no desperation for love. Observe that person's behavior over weeks, over months, over a period of 6 months. Like I said, there's no need to fear. The toxic ones and the unavailable ones, they show you their true colours very early on. But it's up to you to stay centered, to stay connected to your intuition and spot the behaviours, spot the signs. And remember, do not confuse feelings of intensity with true love. That is not love, that is lust. Getting intense butterflies on the first date is not always a good sign. In fact, from my personal history, I would say all the times that I felt intensity when just meeting someone, it ended in disaster. I found my first healthy relationship at 32. That date that I went on with my current boyfriend, we're now 3.5 years in, that first day, I didn't feel intensity, but what I did feel was at peace. I felt incredibly comfortable around him. I felt incredibly safe. I even nearly sabotaged the relationship because I felt like, does it feel a bit boring? But I sat with that discomfort. I wasn't used to finding a secure man, and I didn't know what healthy love felt like. So I had to give myself time to acclimatise to that. And a final note, when we're dating someone, really focus on how you feel inside your body. And what we're looking for here is a feeling of steadiness and peace. Steadiness and peace is not boring. I'll tell you what gets really boring: getting with guys who want to hold you at a distance all the time, the game playing, that gets really boring. Sit with it, let your nervous system adjust and give it time. Okay everyone, thank you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe.